Start the recording. Actually, there was a nice question. Earlier, like I have a team around 16 people. Okay, so these are like the developers. Okay, so we used to struggle a lot to design add-ins. Like we generally an outsourcing company. I mean, outsourcing company, and we do develop the add-ins and we do train the candidates. So these three verticals, and we have a fourth vertical, let's say, into the AR, VR augmented reality and virtual reality. Okay, so we are developing an application, and it's going to be free for all the companies. We are going to release it for free for all the companies, and that is the fourth vertical we are recently into it. Okay, so earlier, like we used to have a 16 people, more than 16 actually, if you are like freelancers, those who are experienced and we can't hire them for high pay. So they were used to work as a freelancers, of course, total 16 plus some 6, 7 members. Okay. So total after the AI has come, now the team size is 7 people. Do you believe that? I'm a C Sharp user. So to develop a C Sharp add-in, like, Derivate add-in, I mean, for logic itself, I used to kill at least like 2 to 3 days. For POC, yeah, exactly 1 or 2 days. So to deliver, I mean, this is going to be your requirement, and it will be, I mean, it's not full add-in, okay? It's just like small POC, only the script, okay? So after AI, like the ChatGPT has come, and there are not only ChatGPT, there are many AI tools. Okay, when it comes to our BIM, we have a lot. Of course, most of us don't know. I'm planning to take a session on AI tools with BIM exactly and how it works for architects, infrastructure people, for like infra people, and for MEP guys, how it works. Okay. Anyways, that's a different story. Now 6 people, 6 to 7 people. Like why? Why? Like we have reduced it because the same person, like 3 to 4 people, who are going to sit and write the same code, the ChatGPT is writing like anything. And I mean, we can't completely rely on the ChatGPT as well. Okay, we can't completely. So you have to refine a lot after that. But instead of writing a code from the scratch, that is better. So refine, it'll take 1 day. But if you sit and write the same 500 lines code, 1,000 lines code, it will take sometimes a month also. Okay, so if you ask clearly, then it will give you the code exactly. It's called prompt engineering. Okay, so that's a nice question, but it is not part of our webinar today because I've recently taken the workshop on the last weekend. It is like Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, it was completely like an overview. And Sunday, most of the people couldn't join and they requested, Rajesh, I've attended like Saturdays, but not Monday. So Sundays. So can I have a chance to attend up? So we're taking this. And the training is going to start from Monday. Okay. So we have still 5 more minutes. Okay. But I hope you got my answer, Raja. Okay. Yes, there. And as of now, AI with BIM integration, it is already implemented and we are using it. And we have developed our own platform on it. Okay, to make the Revit BIM modeler user. For example, let me show you. This is our chatbot. This is a chatbot, and we have developed. It exactly looks like a ChatGPT, but this is a collaborative platform. The person who cannot afford a ChatGPT 4 price, so this is for those people. And no silly conversations, nothing. We directly have the complete BIM. I mean, if you are a modeler, so if you're a coordinator, if you're a manager, so if you're an analyst, or if you're a good time expert, no, you are a Revit AP with Python developer, Revit AP with a C Sharp developer. So I picked this, and in which tone I mean, you are going to reply me. So I want to learn Dynamo, Mr. Kumar. So Revit Dynamo expert in educational tone, and academic, where is this instructional tutorial style. So can you please explain a concept called the data types? Explain. Can you please explain data types? concept in Dynamo. Okay, so when I copy and when I hit enter, so it will give you, see, copy, and I mean, it's taking it as what you have. This is a tone actually. I mean, in which tone? For example, if you change this to the dentist, so in the dentist, I mean, in the dentist tone, in an educational, I mean, this is a role, and as a dentist role, and in an educational tone with this style, so it's gonna explain you the data types. You can ask, I mean, it's gonna be very, very funny. So you have to pick the perfect role here. Okay. So when I hit enter, it's not going. I mean, actually, in ChatGPT, it has a number of thousands of models. So we have picked only 5 to 6 models out of it, and we are directly. I mean, whatever you ask, it don't look into thousands of models. It'll directly look into like the Dynamo, or it directly look into the Revit API Python. So Revit API, and it'll directly answer you, provide you the solution. Clear? So this is where I mean you can access all this like categorize the data. So you can copy and paste it and it will give you some sort of information in instantly. No, I'm an expert. So in a professional tone, I'll change this to what do you say the technical detail stuff. It will explain the same question again in a different way. So the way you ask and the way it returns the completely it's different results. Okay. So AI is going to boom in coming sessions. I mean, coming years. Okay, and we are going to cover how we are going to implement I mean, the ChatGPT in our training. Okay, so we have given some sort of ready-made prompts. How to use Act as Revit Dynamo and Revit APIs with Python expert. Teach me the data type topic. Now, if I copy this and hit enter, and if I ask it, it will give you another way. Okay. So we have like civil 3D, 4, we have different prompts we have. Okay. Cool. Um, any other questions? Any other questions? Guys, any other questions? No? Still you have 1 more minute to clear your doubts, to ask something. No one have any questions?
Hello.
Yes, please.
I do not know coding. How can do that in Dynamo?
No. For you don't need even 0% knowledge to handle at least like 1% of knowledge to handle a Dynamo. Dynamo is a no coding tool. It's a no coding tool. You don't need a coding language. Of course, I teach you in the training. So what is, and we have a concept called design scripting. We have a concept called design scripting, and I do teach that. Don't worry. Okay. Clear,
Okay.
everyone? Any other questions?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Come on. Continue, Sandeep.
Yeah, I'm asking that is it the same? It works same with the civil 3D Dynamo?
Um, Very simple answer for this. We are not, especially like, in our training, I'm not teaching you the dynamo for your understanding. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
not teaching you the dynamo.
Okay.
I'm teaching you visual programming concept. I'm teaching you visual programming. So visual programming in the sense you can, if you learn this topic, you can play with any kind of an applications. Like if you just Google it, visual programming tools. Let me Google. When I click on images, we have so many. So this is one of a tool. This is another tool. This is another tool. This is another tool. This is another tool. So all are like, block-based applications. It's a block-based programming. We'll call it as a block-based. So there is another like a flow-based. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a flow-based, and this is called block-based. They're complete like a blocks. So where you can see the flow, like one to one, how the data is passing from one block to another block. But here we don't have any connections. So we don't have any rise or nothing. Okay. So all this visual programming concepts you can easily understand. Let me show you. We have a tool called Scratch. Okay. If you wish to learn some sort of a coding, a programming tool without coding, then I do suggest this. I have some sort of a blocks. This exactly looks like the Dynamo interface. So here this is node library. Since how we have it, and then now we have for Dynamo. Okay. So here, I have just dragged here. So I have a block now. So can you guess what does this block do? Just give a simple guess. What will happen? And this is an element. And this is an element. Give a guess. Huh? When I just click
It
on,
will move 10 steps.
exactly. When I click on this, it's moving 10 steps forward. It's moving 10 steps forward. And I'm not the owner of this block, but I can handle it. What if I want to move the element for 100 steps? Should I add 10 times? Huh? Should I
You
add 10
can also
times?
replace 100 by
10 with 100. Am I right? Correct? I'll simply change
yes,
this
yes.
to 10 to 100. When I just move this, see, it's moving 100 steps forward. Clear, guys? Are you clear? So this is the way actually it works. And I'm not, yeah, right here. So I'm not the owner of any of the blocks here, but still I can handle an element. What if this is a second set of an action? So when I click on this, it's turning 15 degrees. So if I want to, you know, perform two different actions at the same time. So when I simply attach this to this, what will happen? So it will move the 10 steps forward and turn 15 degrees, move and rotate, move and turn, move and turn, move and turn, move and turn, move and turn. Did you see that? Did you notice that? So the two set of actions are happening. That is what we are exactly doing on the Dynamo as well. So this is our node library, and we are not the owner of this. Okay, these are all completely like an open source. You can download and access it for free of cost completely. But you should know exactly which package have to be installed. Understand? Because if you're an architecture guy, so you have a different set of packages. If you're an structural guy, you have a different set of package. If you're an MEP, for documentation, there are different set of. For modeling, there are different set of. For coordination, there are different set of. Okay. So you should only the thing is you should know how to find a node. The biggest challenges for a beginner who wants to upskill themselves into into this uh, development side. Okay, but they don't know the coding. Well, I don't know who is spreading the rumors and other stuff. Like we must know some sort of a coding language to handle the Dynamo. Actually, completely not. Seriously, give it a try. Give it a try. Okay, so you don't need anything. Even Rajesh, you have written some text in this. So this is comments. This is comment. We only have this black. We don't see. We have only these two notes where we can write a code, where we write a code, and rest of the notes we don't have. Don't use this two. Don't use this two. No, Rajesh. Like, can you prove? So finding a node is a problem. How to find a node? Let me show. For example, I want to get all the elements um, at particular level. Okay, I want to get all the elements at particular level. You no need to ask something in a programmer way. Very, very simple. Ask it, no, I want to get elements, all elements. I want to get all elements. Now, which is showing you all elements of class. You don't know how to use this. Keep it aside. All elements at level. Okay, the one actually what I'm looking for. All elements of system. Okay. All elements in active view. Okay. So all elements at particular phase. All elements of tightness. All elements at level plus. So the same node. All elements at level, all elements at level. So all elements of category. What are all this? All elements at worksite. Okay, all elements of family type. What are all those? What are all this? They have some sort of an inputs to be connected. So after you find a node, you are looking for something and you found some similar nodes, but you don't know how to use it. Finding a node is a toughest part. So if you know how to find the node, there are five different strategies. There are five different strategies. You can't find these five strategies on YouTube or anywhere else. So I have done a lot of research on the multiple applications, and I'm a C Sharp user and I'm a Python user, I'm a Ruby Rail user. So I'm a Java user. Like I know the different explanation. I can teach all this. So, I'm mixing up everything. Okay, if you ask me something, I'll give you a JavaScript. I'll take the JavaScript as an example. I mean, for a concept, JavaScript as a concept, and I'll teach you the Revit Dynamo. If you ask something, a doubt, so I'll correlate with my coding terms, and I'll explain you in the Revit Dynamo. This is the way. If you don't understand an example, I'll give you. So this is completely like it's not a workshop, it is a webinar, how to use a Dynamo effectively. Okay, so 1.5 hour. So, I think you're not have something, no dinner or something, no? Your stomach got full tonight, for sure. Okay, because I'm going to give you the complete information. So how to handle a Dynamo. You don't need to go through with any other videos for sure. You're going to gain the best knowledge tonight. Okay. So the first one is like finding a node. Don't ask me the five strategies. You have to uh, join a training program to learn all this. So once you find the node, the second, understand the inputs. Understand the inputs. Okay. I think you don't need my introduction, I believe. Let me give, I have total 14 plus years of experience in this BIM field and almost like 6+ years of experience in the BIM automation field. Okay. And when it comes to the coding background, I have a lot. From my diploma, I've been using this. Please don't unmute your mics. Please mute it back. Okay. So understanding the inputs. This is very simple again. How to understand the input? Come on, please. Okay. So understanding the inputs. How do you get all these inputs? There is a concept called data types. There is a concept called data types. If you understand this concept clearly, then you will never face an issue what it is exactly saying. When I hold the cursor on every, this is a code, this is a block. We'll call it as a node. So node in the sense, it's a no code. It's a no code. No code. Okay, so we'll call it as a node. And if I cut this into the two pieces, two bits, okay? So the left hand side will call it as an input. The right hand side, what we have, we'll call it as an output. So here, the left hand side will call it as an input variables, and right hand side will call it as an output variables. Okay, so input variable has a value. You must assign a value. So how do you assign a value without understanding the type of it? So what should I connect? Some of the inputs they are expecting input like a number. So you have to connect a number only. some of the nodes they're expecting. Here it is expecting phase. How do you connect that? Here it is expecting no, it's not expecting anything. Then if a node which is not expecting anything, how it will take? So it is taking the input by itself, all elements in active view. So I'm in a view and I'm having ducts. I think in ducts and duct fittings. So when I run the script, it's gonna get all the elements in that particular view. If I change the view, it will understand, okay, active view. So it won't ask you to connect the view to it. Otherwise, you must have a input like a view like this. So you have to connect a view to this. Which view it has to be. Understand? But here it is taking like in active view. So it understand. Okay. Did I select any elements in the background? I don't think so. Yeah, run completed. So it's see it's getting total 1619 elements, including the mechanical system that's standard like fittings and everything. Now I don't want to play with all those elements, Rajesh. Can I pull only the ducts out of this block? Yeah. Here, after you understand the inputs, there is another concept called conditions. Conditions. Okay, and filters. You have to apply some sort of a conditions to filter. And how do you, after you filter the elements, what do you want to do with this? Okay, let me show you now. I have total 16 into 19 ducts in my model. Huh? Just just a minute.
Hello, I one doubt
Hi.
me.
Yeah, come on, please. Come on,
Uh,
please.
so, so how to create a this like of element and joints? So that's it.
We'll discuss that later. We'll discuss that later. Okay. So let me see from the basic. We'll discuss the advanced stuff and the coming stuff. I mean, in the sessions. Okay, or else in the end of the training. I mean, end of the webinar. I'm talking. So all elements in active view. So element dot. I have to figure out where the common thing is. So generally, the how the coding works based on the common stuff. Okay, so here I have to filter on a unit stuff. So here I have a duct, here I have a duct, here I have a duct. So we have a node called element, and I know what is this duct. Actually, it is a category. So I have an element. So I'm asking it very clearly. I have an element. Can you please get me the ID? So it will give me the ID. I'm asking, I have an element. Can you please get me a name of it? So element dot name. When I connect this element, what will happen? It will give you all the IDs. If I connect this to this, it will give you all the names. What if I'll say element dot delete? What will happen? What will happen? Come on. I have an element and I want you to delete.
It deleted.
It means it will delete
It
all
will
the
delete all the elements.
1619 elements. Now I have an element. Can you please get the category? Element dot get category. Element dot get category. When I connect this to this, so the duct systems. Now I have a duct system, duct fittings. Rajesh, I need only the ducts. How should I get it? So here we have a common point again. Here we have two different common points. I'll explain you in some time. I'll explain you in some time. Okay. Element dot get category. So string from object, string from object. Okay. So just a minute, some relatives are from listing. Okay, so string from object. So now I have to filter. I'm using sort of conditions. Okay, now I want to filter wherever I have a ducks. Can you please get that element out? So in a string, so it is you have to understand all the inputs. So what it is actually expecting, what is this expecting, what is this one expecting. Okay, that's now it's giving me like a true or false values. It's giving me true or false values. Okay, so here the first one is not, so it has written false. The second one is a duct. Yeah. And third, for all of them are like duct. And ninth one, it's not a duct. So it's a false. I hope you're clear what has happened so far here. I hope you're clear what's happened. Correct? This is clear, everyone? How did I connect this all exactly? It's purely because of the data types. Okay, let me show you how. This is expecting an element. I have connected an element. Okay, so this is expecting like an object. So it will accept anything. So I have connected a category to this and it will convert. I mean, you have a hint here. Every block, it has a hint. You should understand what it is trying to convey. Okay, string, that's here. So I'm getting all the data as strings. Now, if I'm connecting a strings to this, list of strings to this, obviously I have to connect the string to it. If I'm connecting a numbers to a condition node, you have to connect a number only. If you're connecting an elements, you have to connect the elements. So that is the way it is. So the data types, it plays a different role here. Okay. So now filter by Boolean mask, filter by Boolean mask. So when I connect this mask to this and list, I'll connect this to this. So what will happen? I have two different outputs. In the first list, all of the ducks are there in the in list. See here, I have an in list and I can see all the ducks here. See up to let it go till, yeah, not up to, let's again started a new list. 638. So 638 ducks are there and rest, what are the other category elements? So it's giving me into another list. Are you clear? Now, if I want to play with, I can play with all this directly. To handle all this, the key concept is understanding the inputs, not finding a node. It's not, because once you find a node, if you don't know how to understand the inputs, no, you can't use this. You can't create a script. You can't continue. You will stop it here itself. So to understand the data types, to understand the inputs, we'll have a 3 days session. I mean, we are going to start from the day one to day 3. So after 3 days, you are going to write your own scripts, and it's my promise. It's my promise. Just the 3 days. So I'll teach you the how to play with an inputs, how to understand. Of course, there are some sort of hints here. I'm not disclosing in the webinar, okay, in this workshop. So, but we are going to learn a very detailed spoon feeding training. You can go and review or see our reviews in the reviews. So we have our reviews. You have our reviews. So all of them are like the way Rajesh explained and everything. Like we'll always see um, the 5 stars, like 4 stars, and it's a genuine reviews again. Okay, and these are my current batch students who have done that, and they provided the reviews. Okay, so recently, go on. I mean, I don't want to present that here. Okay. So what else? These are the inputs. And what about the rest of the nodes? What it is expecting? What is this expecting? Come on. It's clearly saying that it is expecting a level, correct? So when you connect a level, what you're going to get, that is what it is telling you. It's clearly like that. If you connect me a level, I'll get you the elements. If you connect me a system, I'll get you an elements and the system. What is it? We'll see later. So when you connect a type, I'll get you the elements. When you connect a category, I'll get you the elements. So when you connect a work set, I'll get you the elements. When you connect a family type, I'll get you the elements. Is it clear now? So input and outputs really sync. So you have to understand very clearly. Now, how do you connect all this? How do you connect all this? If it is expecting level, type level, type level. So you'll find some sort of nodes. Initially, of course, you have to struggle, like how to understand all which node has to be connected. This one, or this one, or this one, or this one, this one. Let's say, can you give a guess which one have to be connected? This one, because Rajesh said it is expecting a level, and this is giving the level. Okay, just a minute. I'll join in 5 minutes. I'll join in 5 minutes.
Hel- Hello.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Okay, so it is expecting a level, and we are connecting a level to this. So what will happen if it is expecting a level and we connect the level to this? What will happen? Won't work. So this is also this expecting. Let me try this. When I connect this to this, it won't work. So this expecting level and we have a double level. So anyways, we can't connect. We can connect this, and this is a level, and here it's a detail level. Can I connect this to this? No. So which node has to be connected perfectly, and which node should be connected at all? So these are like the complete like tips and tricks. So in our training, like we have around more than 1,000 plus, tips and tricks. We're gonna explain that. Okay. So detail level, when I connect this to this, it will tell you, it will give you a warning like, what you have to be connected and what you have connected. For example, when I connect this to this, so element coordinate level is expects what it is expecting argument type. It is expecting level, but you have connected a function. It is expecting level and you have connected a function. Okay. So when I hover the cursor within the brackets, rivet dot elements dot level. The last one you have to consider it's a level. Rivet dot elements dot level. Okay. Now let me see. Let me show you object dot type. I'll check now, but every single thing. I'll check. Now let me show you how to be connected. So when I connected a wrong thing to this, it's saying I'm expecting this. So this is a key point for your finding a node. Now I'll simply connect the footers. What it is saying? Protocol.dscsm.stack value. When I connect this to this, rivet.elements.level. And what is this expecting? Rivet.elements.level. So can I connect this to this directly? Guys, Tina, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, because when generally, how do you come to know? You have to disturb it because it is expecting level. You don't know how to connect. Simply connect a dummy number. Connect a dummy number. Let's say 123 or your mobile number or something. Then it will tell you, I'm expecting elements to level, but you have connected an integer. So what is int? I'm going to teach you everything. Okay, so now it's clear. It is expecting elements to level. And I have placed some 10-15 nodes. Randomly, I have a doubt. This one, level has a view. This one, different. Let's say level dot elevation. This is also double. So, no, element level. No, this is expecting a level. So which one I should connect? Give a try. Connect object dot type. It's called a friendly node for every beginner. Object dot type. Okay. So when I connect this to this, showing something else. When I connect this to this, it's showing something. Connect something. Still, it's showing something else. When I connect this to this, no, this is not the one. Until unless it matches your, the node requirement, don't connect it well. So finally, that is expecting level we have seen. When I connect this, rivet.elements dot level, you shouldn't connect from here. Connect it from here. This is only for testing. You shouldn't take any connections from this. Okay, now let me see. 3,747 elements. 3,747 elements would come from that particular level. Now, from the active view, from the particular level, can I filter the same as like we have done here? Yes. Hold the shift key and connect this to this. From this particular level, it has checked for, it got the category and it has converted into the strings and it has filtered all the ducks. And I see there are ducks now. And this time, I think I have only 252 ducks. Are you clear? So I didn't do anything. I just simply changed this elements input to elements input. So these ducks at particular level, in that particular level, I have only 252, but it is in the complete active view. In this active view in the sense, all the 3D model, in the entire model, I'm having like 658 or something. Is this clear, guys? Is this clear, everyone? Is it clear? Is this clear?
Yes,
No.
Rajesh.
Okay, so we have like the same. This is the course curriculum we are going to follow. This is the course curriculum we are going to follow. Okay, and let me tell you, I'm having total 6 years of experience and I've been playing with this Dynamo from 2015, 16. Okay, so it's almost like more than. And after that, like we didn't have a chance to play with the Dynamo for some time. And to be like 2018 and 2017, 2018, In 2018, I joined a company as a BIM automation, like Intel. So from there, I started the real journey. So far, you can consider the total experience and R&D experience. You can't count. So my total experience, the 6 years of R&D experience, have to feed you in just 30 days. So even though you say, Rajesh, Are Baba, please leave us. I understand completely. Please don't. Still, I keep on giving you the examples. The last batch, actually, it is actually 20 sessions only. But still, I mean, we have taken 23 sessions and there is one more session left, 24 sessions. Okay. So that is the reason even we are extending the current batch training. Okay. So if you are more active and if you're doing the best, I hope you have already noticed, like I'm keep on posting, the scripts done by my students. If I give them an assignment, if I give you an assignment and if you have done that, and you generally share it on my WhatsApp and I'll directly post it onto the groups. Do you understand? Because, the people should aware of what kind of scripts can be done and how they are handling the scripts. From the third day, you will start writing your own script. All right. So there are very important concepts you have to follow. Introduction to Dynamo, like the history of the Dynamo, what we are going to talk, and interface and anatomy. So what are the things we have in Dynamo, like where we implement this, in which stages we play with, in preliminary design, yes, in schematic design, yes, in constructed documents, yes, everywhere. And Dynamo anatomy. So what do you mean by anatomy? If you cut and, I mean, generally the BPC students used to, follow this, they cut a reptile like a cockroach or a lizard or a snake. They'll cut and they'll see how the organs are working and everything and how heart functions and everything. And once they're done with their, experiment, they'll stitch it back again. So this is the way we are going to learn every single thing in detail. In detail, you can create your own packages. You can create your own packages after my training. You will never go. I'll never suggest you to go and watch any YouTube videos once you join my training. After finishing the training, you will be started watching the YouTube videos for logic and direct scripts. I never teach any scripts in my training program. If you're expecting scripts, don't join my training program at all. It's a purely a conceptual training. If I teach a concept, that concept should help you to write 10, 15, 20 scripts by your own. Do you understand? Like that, we have a 20 concepts, 15 to 20 concepts. I'll make you master in every single concept. If somebody come and ask you, you should say, I don't know. That is how I train. Understand? Okay. So this is that, and where there is visual programming. And we are going to play with the chat GPT here for some time. And we'll play with the design scripting. What is a design script? It is not a C language. It's not a Python. It is not a C sharp. It is dedicatedly designed for Revit and Dynamo. It's very, very interesting and you will enjoy a lot this coding. For the first 17 sessions, 17, 18 sessions, we completely using Dynamo. The last 3 sessions, of course, in these 17 sessions, I'll teach you coding, but in perspective of a BIM person. In the perspective of BIM person, not as a programmer. Okay. And trust me, the training is going to be very, very simplified and you'll thoroughly enjoy it. Okay. Clear. And the hobby scripts, you'll start writing your own scripts. Okay. Algorithms. You know how, I'll show you how to write your own algorithms. What do you mean by basic algorithm? Okay. The one what we have done, it's purely like a basic algorithm. Sorting, searching, and filtering. Just only this concept. If you understand this concept, you can write a script. If you understand the pattern recognitions, like how do you exactly follow, like element dot ID, element dot name, element dot delete, this is called pattern recognition. It means, okay, there are some sort of a patterns you have to by heart it initially until unless you habituate with it, you have to buy it. So pattern recognitions. So I'm going to teach you all this recursion and loops. If you are playing with multiple objects, so how do you write the same set of action for 10, 15 elements, 100 elements? No, I have a 10,000 elements, Rajesh. Do the same set. Do the same thing. Got it? Recursion and loops. Not we have. This is the heart of the entire concept. The data types. Heart of the entire concept. No, Shubham, we can't. It's already shared on WhatsApp group, Shubham. If you're asking this, yeah, we have already shared this. Okay. So if you, I mean, if you're not join a training program, then you can learn something, but you can't find all those explanations anywhere for sure. Okay. So ChatGPT, yeah, we'll sit for some time how to handle it, not now. Okay, it started with Dynamo, where you will come to know what we have in our welcome screen. Okay, how to handle the recent files. Even handling the recent files have a problem again. So how to handle it, how to create a graph, and how to explore the sample projects and home screen, like, what do you mean by workspace and what it has, layout and panels, every single thing. I don't leave a single pinpoint in the entire training. I'm gonna cover everything. And I'm seriously telling, I don't have a basic level, intermediate level, and expert level training. And they called as a chupa chupa trainings. If you have seen few, they say like learn Dynamo in 3 hours. Ari Baba, I take 2 hours to teach one concept. How can you teach all concepts in 2 to 3 hours? Do you understand? Generally, to explain a concept, I'll take 2 to 3 hours. Even that is not at all, enough for me. I'll keep on exploring. I'll keep on, when you keep on digging in, I can explain the same concept for 4 hours also. How can you learn all these important 20 concepts in 2 to 3 hours? This is called chupa chupa training. Seriously, you feel like you learned everything, but no, seriously. Okay. So don't go with this. And when it comes to the YouTube training, very worst. One concept you're supposed to learn a concept. It was in the last video. Maybe you were seeing the advanced concept like the Z concept in the beginning. You will go through with another video and that would be like some X or Y. And you'll watch another video that will be G or H. So you supposed to start with A, the alphabets. Our kids are doing the same mistake, A, B, C, D, E, F. And if they misspell something, we'll slap them. So how come you will do that while you're learning? You understand? Don't do that mistakes. You will completely get confused. The learning journey should be in an order. Even in forcedly, my students ask me to explain a concept, I'll never explain that. I'll give the brief of it and I'm gonna tell them like when this concept is going to be covered. I never disappoint my students. If you ask me something, yeah, I'll give a brief just for 5 to 10 minutes. And that too in the end of the training. Every day we have a 2 hours and it's a weekday training. And after your office hours, like 8:30 to 10:30, first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes is the Q&A part. You can completely throw your questions on to me like anything. Don't let me take the session at all. I'm really happy with if you are coming with more questions. Seriously, make me busy. Don't let me take the sessions at all. I'll really happy. First day postponed, second day postponed, and keep on, explaining with the 100% patience. I never say no, no, we have to start a training. No, I'll never say that because we are an outsourcing company. I need a people very, very badly. Do you understand? Okay. Still, I have a requirement for some companies. Okay, but I'm running out of candidates and nobody wants to leave their current companies at this position. They're not going to take a risk. Okay, even though they are offering better, few guys they've recently placed. Okay, that's a different story. Let me finish this. Input types. Periodic example. You can do sort of an animations with this periodic execution example. no one shows in YouTube so far. I'll present that. Okay, how to handle, like for example, there are some sort of chandeliers, lights. So you can provide some sort of an animation. You can give some sort of oscillations to it, to all the lights. You understand? You can do all this. You can do the lift movement. You can do different animations using this periodic execution. Okay. So if you are a manager, this will help you a lot than manual and automatic, because when you just leave your machine just open and left, it will keep on running it will keep on execute your script and extract the data from the current model, and it will tell you, Mr. Teja have done this. Teja, morning 9 to 10, has placed 100 elements. 10 to 11, he just placed only 20 elements. 11 to 12, no production. It will, it will inform, it will export this data into an Excel, and the manager can watch it. Do you understand? If there are any clashes, you have given 100%, 100 clashes or 1,000 clashes to your team members. So you can monitor how many clashes were done, and you no need to ask them what's happening, and completely monitor. Got it? So set of coordinations like copying the element IDs from the Navisworks and pasting in Revit. Bullshit work this is. Keep on doing the how many 7 years guy who's doing the same thing. Even 3 years guy also doing the same thing. There must be difference between the work between the 3 years and 7 years. Understand? Upskill yourself. Don't be like this is completely called donkey work. I'm not saying anything. The companies are following this. So what do you do in that case? You just exactly follow. But if you wish to save your time, no, Rajesh, I don't want to do that. I'll tell you when I was at Atkins in 2017. So my manager used to roam around back to me and keep on watching what I'm doing. That I was very new to the Dynamo and simplified some sort of stuff like only parameter filling or extracting. That time we don't have any resources, but you guys are really lucky. We have many resources now. Let me show you how many you have. If you say builder packages, Dynamo packages. Okay, Dynamo packages. There are 2,154 packages. At the time of I'm learning, there are 120, out of 120, 60 or 60 to 70% are useless. And maybe the rest of them are like, they have a bugs. Because that time we are using an XML version. I can't install everything. Now, a Dynamo is not an XML version, it is a JSON. It means it's far advanced than, we are using far advanced versions than before. The Dynamo, and we have 2,154. If you count at least package in the sense like a folder. So package is in the sense like folder. So we have a 2,114, 54 folders. If you consider at least 100 scripts in each folder, 2,15,400 scripts are ready to use. How goodness it is. Let's say eliminate 50%, not at least 1 lakh scripts you can directly access, even though you are not a user of, owner of it. And they're completely free. You're not paying a single rupee for all this. Access all. You understand? Okay. So, but the only thing is you should know what the node is trying to convey, what it is trying to convey, what it is exactly trying to extract, what it is trying to perform. Okay. Actually, we have only 3 different set of nodes in this entire, you have all this nodes, no? You all packages and all these nodes. We have only 3 steps. We have only 3 types. The first one is create nodes. The second one is action nodes. And third one is query nodes. Create, action, and query nodes. Okay. So what do you mean by create nodes? If you don't have something, and if you want to create something into the model, we'll call them as a create nodes. For example, let me show you. Um, I would like to create a railing. I want to create a railing by leaving some 150 or 200 or 300 or something, like, let's say 1 meter. So I would like to leave 1 meter here, and I want to create a railing. So I want to take this as a reference. To do that, I need a create nodes. For example, I have something, select model element, select model element. So when I just click on this button, now it allows me to select the model, element in the model. Now this is detail curve and element dot curves. So I'm saying that I have an element. Can you please convert that into the curve? This process we generally called as a dot notation, because we have a dot. Okay. This has only 10% of a dot notation. We have a 90% of concept. Now I have, like, see the curve in the Dynamo now. Now I want to take this as a reference, and I want to play some trees, or I want to play, let's say, I think I don't have a trees. So I need curve dot pointed parameter. So I have a curve. Can you please create a point at a parameter? So parameter is not a parameter name. It is expecting curve. I have connected the curve. So the parameter is going to be, when I move the cursor on this, it's saying that, let me show you. There is a hint. So it's showing you it is expecting double, and there's a default value 0. So I should set 0 to 1 with step off. I need 10 numbers. I need 10 numbers. I need 10 numbers. If I say 0.5, it's gonna place in the mid of it, the curve mid of it, the curve, the mid of the curve. So if I change this to point, like 0, it will be here. So the start point will be 0, the end point will be 1 in geometry, generally. Okay, so if it is like 15,000 meter, we generally, if it is a 0, no, we can't say it's a 15,000. So 0 and 1. Okay, so I'll say this 0.1, 0.2. So let's keep on moving. Now I'll say that I need 10 points. But why? It's saying only one. There is another concept called the lacing. After you apply, I can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10 points. Okay. Now I want these points to be used, and I want to create a family. Family instance dot by points. By point. Family instance dot by point. Okay. So here it is expecting point, and here it is expecting family types. The only the way the beginner mistakes, what they do, they'll exactly follow this, and they're exactly following the YouTube video, and they'll exactly trying to clone. But most of the nodes, they you can't see what is shown in the YouTube video. You can't see the same nodes in your Dynamo library, and you'll stop it over there. Okay, this node is not there in my machine, so let's leave that, and you'll go to another channel, and you'll find similar video. If you find, you'll open that, and you'll start cloning that. Stop doing all this, seriously. Okay, if you can't find the family instance dot by point, try another one. Okay, so here it is expecting point. Inputs are really, really important. What it is exactly expecting, but you have connected this expecting curve. I have connected a curve. This expecting an element. I have connected an element to this. So this is called, patterns. You have to understand the pattern. Okay, I'll explain all this during the training. This expecting a family type now. So let me type family types and get it for sure. So family types. So in this family type, I'll just grab a tree. I think this is clear. So it's placing some sort of spheres in the model. See, you can see some spheres here. I think that is mass. I have turned up the mass. And in 3D, I can see a Dynamo generic model. From today, my machine is completely like busy, so now it's torturing me. Guys, Dynamo is very, very easy. But the only thing is you should have a proper way of you must know the proper way of approach. Oh, I can see a spear here. Do you see that? I can see they are very small. I thought it's something small. See, I have seen a spears here. Well, let me change the spears to something else. Let me set a transformer. Okay, let it be. Let that load. Meanwhile, what are the other topics like we are going to cover? Scripting integration. So how do you play with what is a Python and what is a design script? What is the difference between the design script and Python? And I mean, you can understand a Dynamo code, a Python code based on its colors, based on its color. Okay. And how do you write the statements in the code block? And how do you play with the list? And how do you play with the operators? And how do you understand the functions and how do you use it? So ranges and sequence. If you are from architecture or structure background, you will be. I mean, the one we have written 0 double dot 1 double dot slash 10. That's a sequence. So how do you play with it? How do you create that sequence? And what is a code block? And node states. What do you mean by node state? What do you mean by node states? If I'm connecting something to a node, it should work exactly. If it isn't working, it started behaving, in a different way. So the node behaviors. Okay. So every single damn thing I'm gonna teach you during the training. Frequently used nodes. What are the nodes which are frequently used in every script? Okay. If I start writing the scripts, what kind of a nodes which are really required? And what do you mean by series and parallel connections? So there is a script, and all the nodes which I mean to achieve output, what are the nodes required? I have loaded everything into it. But if I connect, incorrectly, no, you can't see the result at all. So you will come to know how to connect it clearly with series and parallel, the time series and parallel connections. Okay, clear? Clear? So how do you play with an Excel documents and element selection? So multiple, I mean, how do you play with, element parameter filtering? Teach how to apply conditions based on the element parameters. You are going to see like what we are going to discuss during the training, and these are the blocks. And if you need this explain file, I'm sorry, the PDF file, let me know. I'll post it again in the group. Okay, clear? Elements without selection. Due to some reasons, we are not sharing this because due to some privacy issues. Okay, the people are copying a content and releasing as it's their own content, and so that is the reason we made this as copyrighted. This is a copyrighted content. Where is that written here? Oh, I have added already. I think you'll see the copyright content somewhere here. So we don't know. Yeah, that's here. So this is an copyright law number. Okay, fine. So these are the key concepts, guys. You should understand the data types concept, and it will take like 3 days to finish this concept. Anatomy, every single thing in a node, how a node working, and I mean, how do I come to know what the node is asking? How do I come to know what the node is going to return? Every single thing, anatomy of a node, and this concept remains the end of the training. So it's not one day concept. Anatomy of node is not a one day concept. In node finding, we are going to see the anatomy. In node behaviors, we are going to see the anatomy. In node states, we are going to see the anatomy of it. We'll cut the every single block and open it and understand and close it back again. Stitch it back again. Same thing, anatomy. Okay. So node finding, very, very, if you understand this, 20% you are confident. If you know how to find a node, 20% you can done stuff. But once you found the node and understanding the node, how the node behaves and the node states, and connect the right inputs based on the correct data types, understanding the correct data types. So you will be like 40-50%, you're okay. And the rest of the 50% concepts are like a hell completely. But I'll make this, your learning journey very, very smooth. You'll feel like a heaven because, I don't want you to, I don't tell you to go and refer there, here, not like another tutors. I don't let you refer anything. I will refer that be of you and I'll explain it very clearly. Sometimes the sessions may be like 2 hours. Sometimes the sessions may be 2.5 hours. I don't bother whether you are sitting without dinner or like had your dinner at 12 or 1 or 2. I don't have a problem. Okay. I don't care seriously. I want you to finish the assignments, and they're very basic assignments, to be frank. Okay. I don't assign you the first assignments too. They're very, and I want to see the change in you every day. Got it? Okay. So the dot notation concept, it has completely a coding terminology. It's complete dot notation, like parent and child. We have a, like parent and child concept. So grandparent and parent, grandparent and parent and child. GP and GP and child. Grandparent, grandparent and parent and child. So the dots, how many dots you use? It means like a path of it. It's like a path. And in this path, we have a functions. In this path, we have a functions. So you have to call the functions. Okay. So we have a create nodes and select model element dot curves. I have an element and it is converting into the curves. Extraction node and create node. So it's creating a curve now, which we don't have that curve before. Okay. So curve dot pointed parameter. I'm using this curve as a reference and creating points on the in a path, on the curve in a path. Okay. And after that, I use these points as a reference and I'm creating a families. I'm placing a families on. All these are like create nodes. And the last one is an action node. The last one is action node because it is performing sort of an action. Okay. So creation node. What do you mean by action node? Very simple. How do I recognize, like, create nodes will create something. Action nodes will play with an existing object. We're playing with it is, I mean, if you're playing with an existing object, then we will call it as an action node. For example, I have an element here. I want to move these elements. I'll say I have an element. Can I move? Element.move. I have an element. And I want to delete all those elements. Element.delete, element.change, element.change type. So these all are like playing with an existing objects. If you're playing with an existing object, if a node requires an existing object, it is called a action node. Very simple. No other thing. Okay. So there is a one more. It's called query. Inquiry. So element. I have an element, and I want you to extract the data. Let me type it here. I have an element. and I want to get the data ID of it. So it is just extracting the ID of the particular element, riskless, completely 100%. 100% it is a safe node. So I want to extract the name, and I want to extract where the location is. So this is pulling the information. Okay. Now if I want to delete or change element delete, move, change. Okay. No, I have an element. I want to change the location. Change location. Change the location. These all are like, if I say location, it is a query node. It is just extracting the info. But here it is changing it. So I'm changing the location. I mean, I need an existing location and I need a new location. Then it will change it. Got it. So this is called action nodes. And I have a element. So I want to create an element on point. So element on points. So I want to create an element on points. I want to create an element on points. Okay. I want to create an elements on curve. I want to create elements on curve. Okay. So I want to create an elements at boundary. I want to create an elements on ceiling. So these all are like create nodes, query nodes, and action nodes. We have only these three. So how do you come to know that, Rajesh? How do I come to know which is an action? It's a query. Let's say geometry. I'll go point and point. See, plus nodes. All the plus nodes represents create nodes. Create, and the zap icon, it is like action. They're like an action nodes. And all the question mark, they are query. They're just inquiry. If I connect a point.x, if I connect a point to that, it will give you the x value of it. If I connect the point to this, it will give you the y value of it. Simple. Okay. So how do I play with this? If I don't know all the strategies are important, not scripts. If you're learning scripts from YouTube, you can create only the scripts. If you go for an interview, no, if you say I can do this, I can do that, they don't care. They'll give you a task. Can you handle it? Because you haven't seen how to create it, you don't know how to get the logic for it. You got it. Let me ask, the team GPT. Let's say chat GPT. I'll use the chat GPT. Mr. Cody. Let's create. Okay, act as a Dynamo expert. Act as a Revit Dynamo expert. Tell me, just give me a basic script. Tell me a script title if you wish to automate something. If you wish to automate something, what do you do? The first script. Tell me. I'll ask the same. Come on, anyone. If you wish to automate something, what do you automate it? Twisted code. No, that is very boring, man. That's very boring. It's very simple. Element dot rotate. No, something else. Something big. Something else. Curtain panel. Curtain panel for what? Curtain panel for what? You want to create a curtain panel. Parameter. What parameter? Lowest. That is geometrical part. That is geometrical part. No. Something else? Okay, fine. Let me ask something here. Uh, can you act as Dynamo expert? in a professional tone, can you write a script? You can write a script to convert a line, a curve, into a curtain panel or a wall or something, wall, in a professional tone with technical detail style. Okay, so let me hit enter. Select the curve. Okay, it is telling that select the curve using like select model element. I'll just copy this. You can use the select model element. Now it's telling me clearly paste it, select model element. Okay, and curve element to curve. You have an element dot curve node. Okay, Control C. Okay, let that be. Element curve, and you have to select the wall type, and you have a node called wall type dot by name. Wall type dot by name. It's still loading. I should have done this. Okay, wait on. Guys, do you think the Dynamo learning Dynamo is tough after looking into this? Huh? Placing a lighting fixture on the ceiling. That's simple. Connect the diffuser, connect it up with the diffuser. Okay. Rotate column on the entire model. Okay. Cannot straight hatch pattern. Let ask everything. Let me see how whether it is possible or not. Okay. Why this is getting slow? Let me freeze all this because this is executing all the set of loads. So I've phrased some stuff. No, it won't. I won't phrase an issue. Element dot curves. So when I connect this to this, so select model curve. Let me draw detail or something. I'll draw detail in. Select model element. Connect this. So I have a line start point. Let me mask it. Select a wall type. I have a wall type dot by name. Control C. See, I have a node. Finding the nodes are something different, like wall location line. Wall location line. What is this wall location line? No, we don't have this wall location line now. What is it? Set wall location. Determine how the wall will align with the curve. Center line, finish face interior or finish face exterior. You can set this parameter using wall location line enumeration method in the code block. Okay, it's not a node actually. So create a wall using wall dot by curve and height. So copy. I'm having something here. Now, okay. So wall type dot by name. I want to define something here. Let me pick a wall from the 3D. So this is not a specific the trade-wise training. Who asked this? Selvin. Okay, actually no. For automation, we don't have a strict saying that like it can be done. We don't have a different separate trade-wise trainings. Okay. So if you can, I mean, generally in our training, if you are from architecture background, if you ask me to explain something with architecture example, I'll take the same example. To teach your concept, I need an element. So that element could be anything. Okay. So fine. Now I'd like to see the typing. STB 25.0 space WD 12.0. Now this has to be written in the quotations because it is asking the type name So when I connect this to this, it's giving me the wall type. It's giving me the wall type. Okay. Now let me go and read again. So I have connected it. Perfect. Wall type by name, my location setting here. So try.catch wall by output. Connect to walls to the output. Oh, this is, I mean, in case if you can't get it, it's giving you the straight away Python code. Perfect. Let me do it now. So I have a curve. Let me connect this to curve to this and wall type to wall type. Now, if it is expecting a levels, if that is expecting height and it is a number, simple. So let's make it 4,000 or something and connect it to it. Now it is a wall. Now it is a wall. Okay. So if I want to play with multiple items, instead of single object, like it's saying select model element, instead of single object, select model elements. Select model elements. Okay, let me draw some detail lines again. I'll simply connect this to this. I can see the curve and I can see the walls as well. The same 4,000 height and with the same STB 25.0 WD 12.0 fit with a height of 4,000. Got it? So you can ask this clearly. If you have a problem, like where should I connect? Can you please explain? Here it's not clear where. Can you explain the inputs to the node from and to? Hit enter. So to understand and to tell you that node and Dynamo, because it's not clear. So the curve, it is expecting the curve to be connected. And from the element curve, you have to connect. Okay. Or else if you have a node called curve.bypoints, you can connect it from there. Wall type. So you already use something like wall type dot by name and level type level, and you have a level dot by name node. So it's telling very clearly level dot by name. I can type or level by element. So tap it. I have a node level dot by name. I have a level dot by element. Control C. Well, we don't have this. I mean, that has changed. So level dot by name. What if I connect like the same again, level 1, and I'll connect this to this. I have a level now. Can I connect this to the level? Yes, it's working. It's working. And what about the height? Height it is expecting double and it is a numeric. So description, the height of the wall measured from the base level. This value determines how tall the wall will be. So the source, you have to use a slider or a code block or a slider or calculator from other nodes. I mean, if you have any personal calculations from there, you can connect a code block or a slider. So I have used a number or a slide or a code block. Is this clear, everyone? So if you got stuck somewhere, so if I ask something again, can you please? But I have multiple curves. How to love it? Multiple curves. Now it will simply change the node. So gathering curves first. So select model elements. Now it's telling you directly gathering the curve, select model elements. In first example, it has shown select model element, but now it has some sense since the way you ask select model elements. Collect curves, select model elements, or else if you have multiple elements from the When multiple lines from the different places, list create it and connect it with exactly wall type dot by name and connect curve and execute everything. So this is the plain text and this is called, graph. So this is the way you supposed to follow list of curves, wall dot curve by height, wall type dot by name, what everything. Is this clear? Everyone is this clear? Now let me go and ask the same one who asked that placement of lighting fixtures on the ceiling. Nathan, question. Okay, again the same thing. I'll use the same prompt. The prompt must be the same again. Control V, Windows V, placement of lighting fixture on the ceiling. Okay, explain. Do you have any points as a reference, Nathan? Do you have any points as a reference or a CAD as a reference? Huh? Nathan, are you there? Then, so tell me, explain. So remember, I have to say clearly. Remember, I have a CAD file, and it has blocks. I mean, it has a blocks and named with LF layer. So the first input. So you have to tell that very clearly, not like even your question must be, you know how to do it, you know what to do it, but you don't know how to do it. So ask it clearly. Whatever the inputs that you have to give the inputs, everything very clearly. I have a layers information. So I have a sealant. Remember, I have total 60 ceilings. Remember, on every ceiling, the end of lead blocks should be placed. Now hit enter. So first you have to import the CAD file. Import instance dot by geometry. Is it? Do I have this node? Control C. Import instance dot by geometry. So whenever you pick that, using select model element, and you have to connect the CAD file of that. Okay. So import instance dot by geometry node to bring the CAD geometry followed by the element dot get parameter value by it. Okay, this is a node again. Perfect. And once you got this, then it is asking to identify the ceilings, categorize, and what it is saying, select the ceiling category. Okay, I can't type. So ceilings. Then can you please use all elements of category? Controls are just copy pasting. I don't want to read. I just want to know what kind of a nodes. And I can understand some basics. Okay. So if you are completely dumb and it is like completely like a document. If you purchase a product, so if they are giving you a document, if you don't know how to understand the document, what is the use of buying the product? Useless. So this is a clear-cut document. It's a clear-cut document. And you can ask this document like, I don't find in all elements of category. Then it will give you another solution. Got it? So map fixes to the CAD, calculate the position, the CAD file, blah, 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 blah. So this you have to understand, this you will understand only in the geometry. So place lighting fixtures, you need a family instance for by coordinates. Check, you have all this. So you have to pick the family type and XYZ points, and these points will be exported from the CAD file. I hope you know how to export the data from the AutoCAD. There is a data extraction node. There is a data extraction process. I hope you guys aware of the data extraction. Huh? You know? Guys, do you know what is a data extraction? No? Not AutoCAD. So this is the way you'll see when you use DX command. When you use an DX command, yeah, correct. While you at the time of you export, it will show you some geometrical information, the layer information, the geometrical information. So where you can find X, Y, Z, the point values like X, Y, and Z values. So you will import the data, or else you can directly extract from here as well. Okay. So family type to family type and XYZ points. Simple. And you have to follow exactly the rest of the CAD standards. Since it is not the geometry, I mean, geometry is an ocean. And the concepts we are going to learn in the next 30 days. Okay, in the 30 days, it takes 30 days training program. Correct something. Okay, it's a 30 days training program. So this 30 days training program covers every single thing in the Dynamo. And there is an additional course called Dynamo Geometry. Actually, the geometry cost, the course cost itself, it is very expensive, but we are going to offer it for free of cost. And you're going to get a certificate which worth of 3,700 rupees. Okay. And we are going to share you the material, the ebook, which costs 12,000. There is a ebook, okay, which worth of 12,000. You can see that, and I'll show you the link of it. Okay. And the next, I'm going to share you the 100 scripts, the ready-made scripts you can directly use into your projects, not for sharing, not to share for anything, sure, for anyone. Seriously. Okay. So means whatever you are investing on this training, you're getting it back again. Though in the way of books, materials. Okay. And of course, my training and everything. Okay. And if you miss any sessions, you'll have a recorded videos. If you missed any sessions, like you'll have a recorded videos. Okay. So you can go through with it and it lasts lifetime. Okay. So no, they will not expire anytime. Clear? Guys, you clear? Okay. So custom node and list management and the lazing strategies. So this is a biggest villain in our training. In our training, this is the biggest villain. Okay. And filtering, sorting, and grouping, they're very, very simple. They're very tough if you don't understand the logic. They're very simple if you're very clear on it. Okay. And the design scripting and chat GPT, yeah, it's different. And why I'm telling you all this GPT, why we have to use this chat GPT, because we are not from the coding background. And somehow compared to, we are not that good in logic compared to the developers. And when you are, you know, uh, it will help you to get the logic first. So use that logic, get that logic first. So if you're not getting the logic, ask ChatGPT, like, I need a logic. Don't write me a script. Just give me a logic. That's it. So first it will give you. Then you have to note it down somewhere. This node will help in this case. So this node will help you in the. So once you're done with this, still if you feel like it's in sufficient, like it's not sufficient to create a script, then come and ask ChatGPT. Okay. So my guys always will start writing the scripts from the third day. After finishing the third day, we'll definitely write. It's my promise. It has proved many, many times, not once. Okay. I will not let you leave if you don't write, I mean, on the fourth day. Seriously. Okay. Cool. These are the concepts, guys. These are the main concepts. These are the main concepts. due to some issues like I haven't privacy issues, we don't share the complete, the content here. But yes, this is the complete course outline. The topics we are going to cover: design scripting, generative design concept, how to play with the Dynamo player, how to create a custom node, how to convert a script into a Dynamo player script. Okay, so how do you play with the parent and child concept? How do you play with multiple elements in different conditions and different or applying different filters? Node finding, it's really it's completely different concept. Finding a node. Okay, so even for node finding, we are using ChatGPT. Now I'll just simply ask like ChatGPT just list out. Someone asks something. After this, convert straight hatch pattern into code. Namaste, Bhaiya. It's okay. Okay. So we have that, but it's you have to follow the Revit API here. We don't have a straight away nodes in the Dynamo. Okay. So rotated column in the entire model. You try that. I want you to rotate the model element. This is very good. When I was uh, at Ramble. Ramble asked me this question. Like in Ramble, I think 2017 itself. In 2017 or 2018 itself. So I went there interview in Gurgaon. So they asked me this. I just did like that. But I was not happy with the pay, what they have offered. So I quit it. So simple. Remember, I want to rotate. What is that? Structural column. 90 degrees. Let's say 45 degrees. Hit enter. See, only one simple node. Select model element, element dot location. Once you get that, set rotation angle. This apply rotation. Simple. What else we have? Nothing. No, if you don't want to use this, superb. List dot create bound and you can access all this. You can simply copy this code and you can paste it. Okay, and you have to connect a element to this and angle to this. It will rotate the element. Okay, copy. Is this using the updated one element dot location at point? This is a tool. Let me show. Python script. I'm already loading everything. Select model element. I want to select a structural column here, but these all are round columns. How can I see? Can I change this to the? Oh, we don't have the square columns for the. We don't have that here. Okay, so when it is expecting IN0, you have to connect something here, and you have to connect like 45 degrees. So that is expecting like angle, and when you connect this to this, it will create that. I mean, it will rotate that. It's very simple. Or else, if you want to follow This is the process. Select model element. We have a node. Element dot location. Yes, we have a node, and we'll get the location point of it. And we will use this. I want to rotate. This is a formula. So we have to copy this in a code block where it gives the 45 degrees rotation, and element transform you to dot rotate element. So this node will rotate it. Okay, simple. And anything else? Create a family. We can create a families using the Dynamo, but generally I don't suggest you to go create a to create a families. Using Dynamo is a bad idea. Okay, not do that. So let me know if anyone interested. It's already 10. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me now. Did I miss anything? This from here it's the geometry part. From here it's a geometry part, and geometry is not for like MEP, but it is if MEP guy learning this geometry, it helps them a lot. Seriously. Okay. Price, yeah. Actually, the course is 25,000. Okay. And it's a 30 days training program. Okay, it's only level 1, and we don't teach Python in the level 1. Okay. So generally, the strategy of learning automation is first Dynamo, and between Python and Dynamo, you have a design scripting. If you are from any architectural structure background, you have to learn Dynamo geometry. So here you'll be more confident if you understand all the terms, everything, all the conditions, like how do you play with. So after 30 days, you'll be me. Simply I'm saying that after 30 days, you'll be me. The only difference between you and me, I have a practice, I have a hands-on experience. You don't have. Compared to the knowledge, you will be exactly me. If you implement exactly, if you're sitting instead of like sitting idle, instead of having like practice with your friends, with your girlfriends, now if you sit and learn practice it in this 1 month, like full-fledgedly, you will be me. Understand? So digesting these concepts for a beginner is tough, but I'll take care of every single thing. Like I don't confuse you with the topics at any cost. Okay. So after then the Python comes. So Python is not in the beginning. After 3 different concepts, the Python would come. So don't listen to anyone else. I did a mistake. So someone suggested me first Python. I joined, I paid for a Python. Then I couldn't do anything. Then someone told me, no, who told you? All the applications will be written in C#. So someone suggested from a different country. So I started learning C#. Then later on I realized, no, there is no link between the Dynamo and C#. There is a link between Dynamo and Python. You can implement the Python, but I have learned a different Python, and this is a different Python. So we have a number of Pythons, JPython, FPython, CPython, Anaconda Python, Buddha Python. There are many Pythons. So don't go with the Python for now. So after the Python, you will be learning Iron Python, application Python. Iron Python is nothing but like application Python. So here we are using Rivet. So it's a Rivet Python. After Rivet API, you started seeing the code behind a Rivet application, Rivet API with Python language. Once it is done, the intro to C#. Intro to C#. After C#, add-in, Rivet add-in creation. This is the flow actually of learning. Okay, read it from not from the top to bottom, from the bottom to top. Okay, so the Dynamo design scripting geometry. So this will take a month. After you finishing this, you will be taking a break, and then you will learn these 3. Got it? And after this, you will be taking, depends upon your practice. It may take 6 months or 1 year. I have taught more than 1,100 students on this. We have taught around 600 candidates out of this 1,000 and external candidates, 600 plus. When it comes to this, not even 50 people, because it's not easy as like these two courses. Understand? If you learn this and develop single add-in, the companies will buy like anything from you. Understand? Okay? Clear? Clear, everyone? So let me know. This is anyways online training, but you don't feel that you're learning online. So it will be like completely interactive. I'll be watching you. I'll leave my mission to you for practice. Like, okay. So every day we have a Q&A part, first of all. Okay. So if you completely made me busy with asking your questions, I'll keep on answering your questions. I don't take a session that day at any cost. Clear? So how was today's webinar? I hope I didn't disappoint you. You enjoyed or felt bored? Hmm? Team, guys?
Yeah, enjoyed. It was quite impressive.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Rohit. What about others? Good. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. It was quite interesting.
Yeah. So the real training will be very, very interesting. Okay. So um, just leave yourself for like that, 30 days. Leave it to me completely. Okay. I'll make you expert, and it's my promise. Okay. Clear? So if you have any questions regarding the training, text me personally. Okay. Or else if you text in the group, yeah, I'll share the complete details. Okay. The training is going to start from Monday, and we have around 30 students in a batch. We have 30 students in a batch. Don't say these 30 students are completely new, and I don't start it from like, I don't treat like an intermediate level or something. So from the complete scratch, from the zero, I'll explain every single thing. Okay. And very, very important, I never say no to my students. So if you ask me something, no, I never say no. Everything is possible. Okay, cool. So shall I take a leave for now, or anyone have any questions?
Sir, yes, sir. One question I have.
Yeah, Rohit, tell me.
Yeah, sir. The thing is like right now I am doing internship in a debit company. There, sir, I am doing just work of sheet work. So, sir, should I take this training or not? What you say?
No, while you're working as an intern, don't step into this now. Okay, you first start earning.
Uh,
Okay, the proper earning. Okay, and the second thing is, you must have a modeling experience. Only the sheet is not at all enough. Okay, for example, if you're creating a sheets, like let me show you. If you're creating a sheets, Control F. This is find like our node, the where I find a node. When I type sheet, there will be so many. There will be so many. Like if I would like to collect the sheets, so there is a node which will collect all the sheets from the current model. See, there are total seven sheets. Okay. So I would like to know, when I connect the sheets, it's going to give you the revisions on it. So I'll check if there are no revisions, you'll get an empty list. I would like to check, yeah, sheet name, panel schedule, yeah, is the revision is matching? Yeah, perfect. So the second one is lighting plan. So how many views are there on that particular sheets? So sheet dot. So if you want to place a particular views on the sheets, where is it's not placing? So place view on a sheet at point. So you have a sheet list and you have a views list. So you want to place all these views on this sheets, and you have to define the points. So you are not going to sit and open every single sheet and drag those views into every sheet. In one click, it's gonna automate everything. Understand? Is it clear?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these
Yes,
are
sir.
the nodes.
This for only. Yeah,
Okay, for learning all this,
this for yeah.
okay, you can create a sheet. If you know the sheet name, if you know the sheet number, I mean, you will be extracting from the Excel document only. Connect that Excel document here. Okay, and sheet name in a different list, sheet number in a different list. So from the Excel document and title block, you will be using the title block family from the family types node. Connect it to it. So it will create thousands of sheets in one click, just a click. So once the sheets are ready, then get all the views. You can create a number of views again. When I type view, it's giving me multiple, like, you can see that I want to create a views. So views.create plans. Got it. If you connect the levels and the names of it and the view type of it, it will create the plan views for floor plan, ceiling plan, or you're like looking for some structure plan, architecture plan. So it will create a plans for you. Got it. So viewports create by point. On every sheet you can create, on a point. Okay. So elements.view collect views. So you have collected all the views. So I have total 117 views in my model. And I want to place all those views on the sheets. How it's possible? I'll be writing the conditions. So if it is a schedule, filter only the schedules. And if I have a 6 schedules, create 2 sheets or 3 sheets and place these 2 in one sheet, place 2 in another sheet, place 2 in another sheet. So this is the way you are writing you are providing the instructions to it. Clear? But still, I don't suggest you to join the training program for now because you are an intern. If you are an experienced guy, you're doing sort of stuff, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can come and, learn all this. But if you started learning in your early stage, you are going to reach your pay in just 2 years, like a guy who is getting like with his 5 years of experience. Do you understand? If 5 years experience guy who is what is getting, you will be getting the same in just 2 years. So you're pretty forward compared to others. Okay, yeah, good. Any other questions?
Yeah, yeah.
Any other questions?
But
Yes,
like
yes,
what I'm doing is I'm just wa-
Yeah, Javed, tell me. Javed, come on. Who unmuted it? I think Javed only, no? Hello? Anyone have any questions?
yes, sir. Like what I'm doing in my current internship is like I'm just in Revit only. I'm just dragging and dropping the views, doing dimensioning, doing tagging, this sort of work. So I'm doing whole day. So can you suggest what should I do so that I can reach to my much good pay in short period of time?
Then automation. You have to come and join. If you can join, like I don't say no. I mean, anyways, like if you learn, you're learning in an advance. Simple. Okay? Clear? But
Any,
all
any, still, still like in Revit means in Revit, what sort of work should I do, so that I can, you know,
automate
uh,
everything.
learn this training very
I
nicely.
understand. For example, if a modeler or a coordinator or the Revit craftsman who are exact what they are doing manually, every task can be automated. If there is no such a manual process, no, you can't automate it. So very simple answer. Either generally, you'll find something in Dynamo. If you can't find some set of actions in Dynamo, there is no other option. You have to go with the Python. I mean the second level, Revit API. So you have done something, but if it is not working accurately, because when you this is called runtime errors. So when you're playing with the 100 elements, yeah, that works perfect. When you're playing with 1,000 elements, it works perfect. Whenever, so you feel that it is working with all the 1,000 elements, so let's play with 10,000 elements. It will get stuck. It's called runtime error. In that case, you have to go to C#. So where we have a different levels, you will come to know everything. I'm going to teach everything where the Python will be implemented. What kind of a nodes, and if you ask, like for example, I'm act as a remote Dynamo expert. Anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, like for in Revit, I know basic modeling.
Hmm.
Like
You
so
can
in
do.
Revit, I know basic listen. In Revit, I know basic modeling. For what sort of things should I first do in Revit so that I will become
For
eligible
this,
for this training?
no, for this, you have to call me personally. I'll explain you in detail, but not in the let give others a chance. Go ahead. Okay. So I'll drop my number here. I'll just drop my number here, 9160 7890. Okay. So if you call me, I'll explain what you can do exactly. Okay. Clear? So I'm a Revit modeler with
Yes, sure, sure.
shared process something. Um, shared. I'm working on sheets and working on sheets for a full day. Can you list out some examples, some tasks which I can automate with Dynamo, which I can automate with Dynamo. Okay. So now it will give you some tasks, automated sheet creation. So bulk view placement on sheets. So you can do all this stuff. Automated annotation and title blocks, revision management, sheet indexes and lists. I hope you're doing all this. Quality check of sheet, aligning views across the sheets. So if they are not aligned properly, automatically detail placement, filtering and organizing visual sheets. You can handle all this. Okay, so I'm going to cover all the, not the scripts. I'm going to cover the complete concepts which will help you to write your all the scripts by your own. Understand? Okay, cool. Any other questions? Anyone? Any other questions? Anyone? No? No one have any questions? Guys, shall I take a lead then? Hmm? Okay, and thank you so much for attending this webinar. So I hope you enjoyed this, and because spending a weekend with work, it's not a small thing actually. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great career ahead with the automation. Please leave this, stop doing sort of a modeling, leave modeling completely. Okay, come into the automation because the complete future is of the automation only. Okay, the companies are already started looking for these guys who are good in ID, integrated design development. Okay, so okay, switch it as early as possible. Okay, thank you. Good night, everyone. Guys, good night. Good night, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.